Joining me now for the latest on all of this is Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton, the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. Senator, I just have a map here and talking about what has happened since Maduro was taken from here. Brazil's reaction, Mexico, who's now got to be put on notice with their cartels, and Colombia's president, belligerent one minute, conciliatory the next. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Brian, it's funny how that works, isn't it? First off, just let me commend our incredibly skilled and brave troops and intelligence officers who pulled off this operation. President Trump for authorizing the bold and audacious mission to bring Nicolas Maduro to justice. Venezuela was really unique in Latin America. It didn't just have drug cartels in the country. The government was a drug cartel. And it had become a crossroads and a playground for every American enemy in the world. Cuba, Russia, China, Iran, even Islamic terrorists like Hezbollah. So America is much safer today with Nicolas Maduro out of power. And as you just showed on that map, many countries have begun to sing a different tune, or now if they're anti-American or at risk themselves, like Cuba itself depends entirely on Venezuela for a financial lifeline. So we are much safer in our backyard with Nicolas Maduro behind bars in New York City.
And I think the way we did it and what has happened since is sending the right message. We got strength, we got skill, we have the incredible technology, working with Space Command and cyborgs. People say, am I next? So that's why Colombia picks up the phone. And then in Brazil, we told that leader, Lula, you cannot put Bolsonaro in jail and wrongly accuse him of fixing an election. He says, I'm doing it anyway. We hit him with tariffs. Suddenly, the sentence is reduced from 27 years to 2 years. Don't you think these two things are related?
Yeah, Brian, there's nothing like strength and resolution in international affairs. I think you can also cite the president's decision to bomb Iran's nuclear program last summer as well. Our friends throughout the Western Hemisphere, and for that matter around the world, are reassured that we have a president that will employ our amazing military and intelligence agencies when it's in our vital national security interest. And our enemies are worried that once again we have a strong leader in the White House in Donald Trump, not the weakness we saw with Joe Biden, most notably in the humiliating collapse in Afghanistan 5 years ago.
So let's go up to Greenland. I can't believe I've never talked about Greenland until the last year and a half. But this is like our third major chance in our country's history to go get Greenland. I think the first time was right after the Civil War. Got Alaska. We tried for it. Then there wasn't a sentiment to get more land. And after World War II, we basically had to defend it. And I guess in 1951, we have the right to expand our military base there. But that's not good enough. The president is sending the Secretary of State to meet with Danish officials. What should happen, Senator?
Well, Brian, when the president first floated this idea 7 years ago in 2019, I wrote an op-ed in the New York Times, which did not cause the editor to be fired, which explained why it's in America and Greenland's interest for America to have sovereignty over Greenland. Much like it's a blessing that we bought Alaska over 150 years ago, something at the time that was called Seward's Folly after the Secretary of State. But who believes it's a folly today that we control the territory of modern Alaska? Greenland is a vital strategic location. It's important for missile defenses and early warning radars. As you said, in World War II, Greenland and Iceland were contested by the navies of both sides. It's rich in resources that are currently underserved or not being fully exploited. And of course, we have the ability, with our vast national treasure and population, to support the people in Greenland and bring them more economic development than our friends in Denmark could. And as you cite, we have a 1951 treaty that gives us more or less open access to Greenland for military purposes. And I think Secretary Rubio is going to be meeting with his counterparts from Denmark to talk about that treaty and about the prospect of, again, buying sovereignty over Greenland from Denmark. This is something that's happened numerous times throughout our history, even with Denmark. What we today call the U.S. Virgin Islands used to be Danish territory. Woodrow Wilson bought them over 100 years ago, and thankfully he did, because it's always better if we can control territory that has vital access into our hemisphere.
And with all its success and how it looks to, it could be economic and security, that's why the president wants to put another $600 billion into the defense budget, and I hope they find a way to get it to him. Senator Tom Cotton, I know you're a confidant of the White House. They count on you for insight, and they counted on you on this operation again. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Brian.